Heyo, this is Dash, and by the title of this video, you know what I'm about to do. Those of you who have asked for this video, this one's your fault. And I say that lightly, but get ready. First things first, it is just after 8 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to get this soup on. And the soup doesn't have to take all day, but I try to do these things, so I'm not in a rush. So, big old pot. I'm going to fill this up like 3/4 of the way with water. So how's your day going? When I ask these questions, I really would like a response in the comments below. Please and thank you. So if you guys don't remember, in a previous video where I smoked a rotisserie chicken, and then I pulled the chicken, and then I made the chicken cobbler, I hinted at making a soup. So today, I'm gonna make a soup with the carcass from the freezer. All right, so into the pot, I'm gonna put this on medium heat. I don't need it to be boiling. I'm just gonna drop my chicken, get in the pool. Oh my goodness. If you guys could smell this, it smells fantastic. How did I get water in the... There we go. I actually want to get all of that, everything that's in this bag, into this pot. Man. All right. You don't have to do anything else to this at this point. Just let it sit here. It's going to start simmering. It's not going. It could come to a boil, but just gonna let it sit here for a good hour, maybe 2. But I'll bring you guys back when I come back, and I won't say deal with this, but I mess with this next. All right, so right after I turned the camera off, I'm sorry. I'm still waking up here. Right after I turned the camera off, I decided I was going to turn the heat up on this because of the fact that the carcass was frozen and it dropped the temperature in the water, and I'm like, I wanted to actually start doing something. So I turned the heat up to high from medium, and now I'm actually going to turn this on low. Now, the thing about this particular burner, it is a power burner, and even on low, it's still like, it's got this water rolling. So I turned it all the way down to low, and what's crazy is the smell of this carcass here in this water. It smells just like I took it off the smoker. So I had to take taste tester number 3 to school. I'm going to take her to school and then stop at the market and pick up some I need some celery. I want some celery, some carrots, some onion. Yeah, I don't have any onion. I need all of the essentials. I might get a potato, or not a potato or 2, but I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do some noodles or potatoes. But either way, I need to get those things. So
1 hour later,
if you guys could smell how this smells, as soon as I walked into the house, oh my gosh, I smelled the broth here. We're gonna let this go for a little while longer. Get all the, like, I threw the pieces of the skin and like little bits of the fat down in the pile that I made. And it's, oh, I'm gonna let that go for another hour maybe. But let me show you guys what I got from the market. I asked taste tester number 3 whether we should have noodles or potatoes. She wanted noodles, some celery, parked beef hot sausages. How did they get in there? I got some baby carrots. I have some carrots here. I'm going to, but they're like dying. They're kind of on their way out. Donuts. Who put those in the pile? Some onions. I got 2 Vidalia onions, and I got a little mushrooms. So these are sliced mushrooms. So they'll just be tossed and getting to go into the pool, as I say. But I'm gonna let this go for another hour, and then I'll probably turn it off for a little while, let everything cool, and then I will pick and pluck all of the meat off of the bones, or what's left of the meat off of the bones, and then we'll get all our other everything chopped up and added, and we'll just let it simmer for another couple hours, and man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so everything just simmering away, and I'm gonna turn the heat off on this actually, and we'll let that, I won't say cool because it's not really gonna cool. As I get the vegetables prepared, I'm gonna let the broth start to cool off so that I can pull the chicken that's on those bones that are in the water eventually out of the water, and we'll get everything taken care of from there. So let's get a cutting board. And all I really have to cut up is the onions and the celery. Start with my onions. I got 2 huge Vidalia onions. I don't know if I'm going to use them both. I might just use one. See how that goes for now. I am using the glove because I don't want my hands smelling like onions for the rest of the week. We're just going to peel off this layer. I'm using the heel of the knife, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who can say, oh, you're doing it wrong, because I probably am. I'm just going to cut this in half and cut this. I want this to be a hearty soup, so I'm not going to do like a finely chopped dice or anything, but I'm going to cut the onions up in at least some semblance of a smaller bit. I'm just going to put in this bowl here so that I can have more room on my cutting board. All right. Four.
The number of the day is 4.
Stalks of celery. Get this rinsed off real quick. A little nub end pieces. I'm gonna take those out, but I'm gonna leave the celery stalks, like, I'm gonna leave that in. The flour portion. All right, and then last but not least, my carrots. I have these baby carrots, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to use those. I have some carrots in the refrigerator. Excuse me. They're like dying. We're gonna use these. Where is my peeler? Oh, here we go. Peel these guys real quick. Alright, so usually whenever I'm doing my prep for cooks and things like that, I'm doing it at the sink. But because I am trying to show you guys what it is I'm doing and have the best lighting possible, you know, video and everything, I'm doing it over here on my island, which, as you can see, doesn't make the most sense. But it's alright. So I'm gonna cut my carrots, the bigger ones, into smaller pieces and kind of get them into more manageable pieces so that they'll cook kind of evenly. Ooh. Careful cutting carrots. You don't want to cut yourself in the How do you cut up your vegetables? Are you one of these people that does like the forward chop? Or do you rock your knife down? You guys see, I'm more of a rocker.
All right.
Sometimes I crack myself up. All right, so I have my vegetables prepared here, and my mushrooms, I'm not really worried about that. That can go in kind of later. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to get my chicken and start taking the bones out of the broth. And I will put on some cotton gloves with some, you know, nitrile gloves and pull the meat off of the bones and take the bones out of the soup. So that's the next step. Cotton gloves, because the soup is going to be hot. All right, so here is where I will bowl so that if this leaks, I'm not making a mess on the counter. All right, so we got bits of fat that are rising to the top here. Just going to try to pull all of the bones out and leave the skin behind, or not the skin, leave the meat behind. Try to take out anything that, you know, gristly or would not provide good mouthfeel. So I'll be standing here for a few minutes while I take care of this, and I'll talk to you guys when I'm finished. I'll talk to you guys when I'm finished. So that hopefully, I can't see how long it's been, but it's been probably 10 minutes, if that. And I'm just running my fingers through my, is this a stock, I guess? And I'm pulling up the bits of chicken, and I'm just like, I don't even know what this is I'm doing. I'm kind of just mushing it up, for lack of a better word, so that I can feel every bit of meat that's in here. And the whole thing is, or the reason I'm doing that is so that I can get even like the tiniest of the, this isn't a little bone, but even the tiniest of bones out. And you're probably still going to miss some. So, you know, if your family, just tell them to give you some grace. But there are still some little chunks of like little bits of fat solids that are kind of floating in here. I'm going to leave them, you know, a little bit of fat. Ain't kill nobody. There's a bit of flavor. I'm gonna get the gloves off, and I'm going to get my vegetables in here, and I'm just gonna put this on low and let it hang out on the stove for a while longer. Not in a rush. This is for my dinner tonight, or our dinner tonight. And once I get all these vegetables in here, I'll determine whether I need to add some additional seasoning, like some salt, or try not to make too much of a mess like I am here, or see if I need to add more vegetables, some more carrots, onions, celery, my mushrooms, ooh, shoot. I'm not trying to put too many vegetables in there. I'm gonna add a couple more carrots. That was the reason why I used the ones I had in my refrigerator first. Let's do half this bag. I probably should have cut them in half, but oh well. It's my soup. Let this hang back out on the stove. And if I need to put more onion in there, or if I need to do, you know, something else, I will do that in a little bit. Oh yeah, we need some salt. Help bring out all of those flavors. And I'm just gonna let this sit here on low. Like I said, I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna put the lid back on here, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Trying not to get too close to the pot so you guys won't get steamed out, but everything's in there, having a good old time. Smells fantastic. Just gonna let this roll for a while. I have it set. It's a little under medium, but we are rolling. I actually have some of the other chicken left over still. I'm going to tear up a little bit of that, chop it up a little, and get some of that into here added. Once I add the noodles, I don't want to put the chicken in too early because I don't want it basically cooked to death and dried out. But just gonna let this hang out for a little while longer. It's been all of maybe half an hour since I, come on. yeah, it's been about 45 minutes since I started the put out all of the vegetables and everything in there. But I'm going to just let this hang out, and I'll bring you guys back when I am going to add the chicken and the noodle. All right, so you guys see my soup is rolling. Rolling. So at this point, I got some chicken. I gave it a rough cut. This is basically like half that other chicken. Family didn't finish it. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Who am I kidding? I'm just gonna finish out this bottle of magic ribs. Uncle Steve, send more shake, please, and thank you. Smells good. Not really, don't really need to mix that around, but I'm just gonna toss that into the pool.
Everybody into the pool.
And I might almost need a bigger pot. But we're gonna get some noodles down in here. Sorry, headphone users. Let's see here. Rapid boil, add, blah, blah, blah. Living dangerously. I chucked the whole bottle in. The whole bag in there. Extra chicken. The noodles. I'm gonna let this cook for another half an hour or so. Let me see if I can get one of these pieces of carrot. Oh. It's soft, but still got a little bite to it. I'm gonna let the chicken hang out in there, let the noodles hang out, and I'm gonna bring the temperature up to a little higher than, or a little, like halfway between medium and low. All right. The noodles should absorb some of the broth here. And I'm not going to put any extra seasoning in it just yet. I'm going to let these flavors hang out for a little while before I add any more salt and or pepper. So if I didn't say it already, I have added some salt and pepper in here while I've been tasting it as it's been cooking, and it smells great. So we're just going to see how it tastes once it's a little further along. I'll bring you guys back in a bit. I am back at it, and it's been literally only about 20 minutes or so. It is 1:21 p.m. and I'm getting ready to have some soup because I haven't eaten lunch yet. And I came over here just a second ago and I turned the heat down. I had it on, like I said, it was like halfway between low and medium. And soup's on. All right. Let's see if I can. There you go. That's a pretty decent picture. All right. So this soup, I've been smelling it all day long. My noodles are cooked pretty much to perfection. They're not, well, you know, the longer they sit in there, the more, I won't say overdone, but they're going to get softer. Oh. Man, it tastes just as good as Campbell's, I swear to you. Some celery, some onion, some carrot, oh, I cannot speak. And the mushrooms. Hopefully my wife appreciates the mushrooms. I threw those in there for her. This just goes to show you that soup is not really all that difficult. My mom is texting me. Soup is not all that difficult. If you have a carcass, or if you have like, now is the time to save those carcasses from your chicken cooks, your pulled chicken, your obviously the rotisserie chicken that I made. And guess what? Turkeys, this works the same exact way for turkeys. So after Thanksgiving, just, you know, give you a heads up, something to think about. After Thanksgiving, you take your carcass, you put it in some water for an hour or two, let it cool a little bit, pull all the last bits of meat off of the bone, get your vegetables together, get your vegetables into the pool for an hour or so. And then if you're gonna add some noodles, and then you can add any bits of extra meat that you wanna add to it. Make sure you season it thoroughly, you know, salt, some pepper, and enjoy. And so it's been raining here for, I feel like almost a week straight. And this right here, this is comfort food that is going to hit the spot. So I'm going to finish my lunch and then have it again for dinner, and probably again for lunch tomorrow, since this is so much soup. Look, just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, please take a moment, hit that thumbs up button down below. Make sure you leave a comment and tell me if there's anything else you would add to this soup, or what I should add or do for the next time. But speaking of next time, I'll see you next time.
More water, baby.